Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get airborne with our Monday market outlook here at Top Gun Options. Breaking news, man, we're closed. We had an epic week last week. We got 50 full throttle, brand new full throttle members. Welcome aboard to all those lucky folks. A couple people over the weekend obviously didn't believe that was a deadline, and we turned them away. Sorry, maybe we'll get a chance to open up the doors again. I think maybe October-ish is our next scheduled full throttle. So really happy. Had a great week last week. Great trades that we'll take a look at. But today at 3 o'clock before the close, 3 o'clock Eastern, I introduced our newest service. So this isn't part of Full Throttle. This is a separate standalone live trading service called Solo AMZN, where we trade just one stock that we call the Death Star. Guess which one it is? Solo AMZN. Okay, so if you didn't get your Full Throttle slot and maybe you want to dip your toe in the water to what we do here at Top Gun Options, you need to be in the brief today at 3 o'clock. Check your email. Send out an email. If you're seeing the SID you're most likely on our email list. So there you go. The link to register is in here a couple times. Or you can go to the Top Gun Options Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Top Gun Options, and scroll down. It's like one of the top posts here with the F-18 getting airborne in bad weather, getting ready for a night mission there. Okay, so 3 o'clock. Hour before the close, we're going to take a look at our newest, hottest live training service here at Top Gun Options called Solo AMZN. A reminder to the 50 new Full Throttle members, Solo AMZN is not part of Full Throttle, hence the name, Solo AMZN, so you want to make sure you attend. We already have 389 folks registered for this brief. So make sure you grab your slot as well, even if you are in Full Throttle. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. Weekly options trade, sending out a new bull put spread on EWZ and legging into an iron condor. We had a great weekly options trade last week. We had an EWZ, Brazil, bear call spread. That's 46.5, 47 bear call spread. That expired Friday for a max profit of $2,900 essentially. Risking about 51 to make 2,900 bucks. Right there, folks. With one weekly options trade last week in 4 days, I paid for your annual for a full year, Full Throttle membership. That was just one trade. We also had a couple great looking trades last week. We had a volatility trade on VXX. Looked at a bull put spread that expired right into the closing bell for a max profit. Stayed right above 23. It was the 23, 22 and a half bull put spread. We're going to talk about 1 o'clock because got a couple texts from some of my coaching clients saying, hey man, the risk management department is giving me a call. Or you have to give the risk management department a call before they take you out of the trade, because it was going into the last hour of trading there, it was back and forth. Look at this. Look at that rip higher. And right into the close, we hit max profit all the way up to 23.25. So we're going to debrief that today. But that was another, what was that, $2,500? So over $5,000 in those two trades in profit last week. Okay, so had a blast, very good time, great Full Throttle. We're airborne. Here we go. China allows Hong Kong protest images to circulate, fanning public anger. The foreign ministry, remember folks, Hong Kong was Great Britain. Great Britain turned it over in a really nice ceremony in, 96, 97? Foreign ministry says local authorities should use all necessary measures to safeguard the rule of law and punish criminals. Translation, and don't think just because it's Hong Kong, it's westernized, and China ain't going to steamroll tanks in there. They did it in Tiananmen Square, and what do? Forgot about it. Images of Tiananmen Square are legal in China, so they ain't, it ain't beneath them, folks, to steamroll in tanks and kill people to preserve their form of government. And Hong Kong likes to think they're democracy. China says we own you. Same thing with Taiwan, man. All this stuff's going to come to a head. Not too happy with the president, around the G20 summit when the original protest started, and the president kind of kept his mouth shut. Why? Because he wanted to get a trade deal, at least get to talking about Xi Jinping again. Not happy with that. New stock market opened in China, and they said the stocks blow out. 25 companies on the Shanghai's, it's called the STAR, right? Science and Technology Innovation Board, or STAR Market, ended the day with gains ranging from 84 to 400%. I'm going to figure out how to trade that. We trade the FXI here at Top Gun Options, and we currently have a bull put spread sitting on here out to this Friday, looking nice. Okay, waiting for the PBOC to maybe inject some capital. Iran, man. Clown car continues. 17-ish CIA agents and Americans that they're sentencing to death. Quick note, if you are thinking about taking your summer vacation to Iran, you deserve to get captured, period. Come on, folks. Seriously. But these, if they're American citizens and they're being seized, potentially sentenced to death, this is a game changer, man. This is bad. Okay, what are we going to do, man? The president has given these guys a ton of rope. They're blowing up tankers. They shot down air drone last week. Absolute embarrassment to the once vaunted Royal Navy, right? What was the motto of the Royal Navy? The sun never sets on the Royal Navy, because they literally had ships around the world. They had an empire. Now they got an empire, an empire the size of Michigan. Seized a tanker. You can watch the video. You can listen to the you can listen to the audio. What an embarrassment! Iranian commandos. The Brits had ships in the region to protect these boats, and they failed. I would not want to be one of those commanding officers. Well, the closest one was 45 to 60 minutes away. The ship might have been, but their missiles aren't. Very embarrassing. I don't know what Great Britain's do. They have very limited military options. Obviously, the tankers in a heavily fortified port. But Iran said today that they might do what? Start charging people a toll to go through the Strait of Hormuz. They say they own it, and we're going to start, if you're going to keep these sanctions on, we're going to do this. So this is bad, folks. What are we going to do? Is Europe going to roll over and give in, or is Benjamin Netanyahu going to blow Israel into a parking lot? Got to keep an eye on this. Stocks opened higher, then they went down mid-morning. Now they're back around flattish. Big meetings coming up. Obviously the Fed, and then we got Mario Draghi, I think, this Thursday. So a lot of the markets around the globe, and in the United States and around the globe, are looking for hopium from central banks, which is very dangerous. President obviously having a busy morning, as he always does, on Twitter, ripping apart the Fed chief. Shocker. Misguided tightening warns far more costly to cut rates. So there's 100% probability of an interest rate cut next week. 25 basis points is kind of in there, right? They ain't going 50. What's his name? The Bullard, or one of the Fed chiefs on Friday, or the New York dude said, 25 is more realistic. I don't think he gave a number. But here's what I'm getting at. The market has forced the Fed to cut rates, and optically, it's, it looks like the market and this and that, but the president is doing a great job of making this guy into a boogeyman. What else did he say? Hey, for 8 years, the Fed gave Barack Hussein Obama near zero interest rates and pumped $85 billion a month at one point into the market. What you guys do to me? You gave me 8 interest rate increases. President, he ain't no dummy, man. He's setting this up perfectly. If we see a recession or anything like that, like Morgan Stanley sees in the next year, the president's got a fall guy, right? He's got China, who's a bad guy. Hey, I'm just trying to make trade fair, and then he's got the Fed chief, right? The guy's got a good political case when you can compare how the Fed is treated, not him, it's America, and how America was treated under Barack Hussein Obama. Interesting stuff going on. Big week for earnings. We got a lot of tech earnings coming out. A lot of our stocks and our portfolios got some earnings. We got Mario, Bank of Japan. Wednesday is going to be a complete shit show and clown car in Washington. I can't wait. America doesn't care about this, but it's political theater at its finest. Morgan Stanley going out on a limb. A 20% chance for a recession in the year ahead. Seriously? So that's an 80% chance that it's not. So Morgan Stanley gets to throw out a nose like this and then do what? If it happens, they can be like, hey, we predicted it. And if it doesn't, they can say, well, we didn't. Comical. I think the economy is doing great. Obviously, we're seeing some brown patches, but the jobs, the GDP, things are going fantastic. And I actually completely disagree with President Trump. I think the Fed should be raising interest rates, not cutting them. But we can talk about that over a beer. Okay, we got a lot to talk about today at 3 o'clock. Warren Buffett. I was an idiot for not buying Amazon shares sooner. So you might have to call yourself that word if you don't register to attend our 3 o'clock free brief. It's the link is in your email box, right, to attend. Now we got 392 people, or on the Top Gun Options Facebook page. Just scroll down a little bit. It's the click the link right there with the F-18 getting airborne. All right, I got to get ready for weekly options at 1 o'clock, and then I'll see many of you at 3 o'clock in our Solo AMZN brief. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll see you in a little bit.